Pete, many congratulations. How does it feel, first to be appointed head coach of Connacht Rugby, and secondly to now lead the professional team set up here for the next few years?
Look, it's incredibly exciting. I'm honoured by the opportunity. I can't wait to get started. From a personal point of view, in terms of the progression of my coaching journey to this point, it's a hugely significant step. It's one that I believe I'm ready for. It's one that I feel I've worked hard for, and I'm thrilled it's at a club and at a province that I care so deeply about. It's also a massive privilege when I look at the names that have come before me: Warren Gatland, Eric Elwood, Pat Lamb, Andy Friend, to be able to follow in their footsteps and lead the programme and bring my own flavour to that programme is incredibly exciting, and I'm humbled by that.
You're in your 6th season at the club, so you obviously have a very good understanding about Connacht Rugby, the club, and then Connacht, the province. So what do both of those elements mean to you?
Yeah, look, I think I'm fully aware how unique a role I suppose Connacht has played in the history of Ireland, let alone within rugby, but within the country as a whole, and then Connacht Rugby within the province, and again within Irish rugby. So there's a really unique story there in all aspects, and it's something I'm very aware of, something I'm fully immersed in and bought into, I suppose. And I remember my first trip to the sports ground in 2015, and it was World Cup final day. I was here as an opposition coach, but the spirit of the place, the energy of the supporters, there was a real soul and a real care for what was going on around the club, not just on the field, but around the club and around the place as a whole. And it was something that resonated with me at the time, and I recognised this was a place that knew struggle, that knew determination, and knew what it took to succeed, sometimes against the odds, and I love that about the place. And for me now to be able to play a key part in that, and I suppose lead the club into the next chapter, as I said before, it's a massive honour and something that resonates strongly with me.
So for 5 of your 6 seasons here, you have worked with Andy Friend. Just how influential has he been to you personally over those years?
Look, it's been a real pleasure working for Andy and working with Andy, and I think I've been very fortunate in the sense that I've had opportunity to tap into his experience of the game as a head coach, as an assistant coach, just as a rugby man. He's been very open in sharing those experiences, but at the same time, he's given me a real freedom to question some of those things and to challenge the way we do things, to try out my own ways of coaching, of reviewing, of preparing players to play, I suppose. So that balance between guiding me, but also allowing me my own accountability to find my way and my identity as a coach. I'm very grateful for that, and certainly as we move forward, it's really important that we continue to build on the positive things that he brought to this programme and this club and this province. But at the same time, I'll be keen to put my stamp on things and freshen things up in other ways as well. So no, I've enjoyed working with Andy, and we'll certainly stay in touch moving forwards.
Over that time, you have looked after both defence and attack, so I suppose fans would have a general idea about the way that you think rugby should be played. So, but for the fans, can you give people an idea about the core rugby principles that you adhere to, and what people can expect next season here at the Sports Ground?
Yeah, look, I think for any Connacht player and any Connacht team, the bare minimum that people expect is unbelievable work ethic and energy, and unbelievable fight. And I think that's always been the case for Connacht as a club. And I think opposition teams will tell you about what that experience is like being on the other end of it. And certainly in my time here, those two aspects, the energy and the fight, have been key parts of how we want to play the game and how we want to behave on the field. And the playing group we have right now and the playing group we'll have next season and over the next couple of seasons absolutely fit that mould. And in terms of that commitment and as I said, those behavioural tickets to earn a place in this Connacht side and to represent the province, they're non-negotiable, and that'll be a key point still for us moving forwards. I think on the back of that, we do have a responsibility to entertain and to inspire, and we're here as representatives of the province, and certainly when Connacht have had success in the past, and in my time here as well, we've played a really positive brand of rugby, and people expect us to be proactive in how we play the game. They expect us to to pass, to offload, to run with the ball. As I said, to be really ambitious in the way that we're trying to play the game out there. So, that is something that we need to keep working on. It's something I think we can improve, but it'll be right at the heart of what we do rugby-wise.
Pete, you've gained a lot of coaching experience across the world. So what kind of head coach do you see yourself becoming over the next few years, and what kind of head coach would you describe yourself as?
Yeah, look, I've been lucky enough to work for 9 different head coaches across my time in professional rugby, and certainly, that breadth of experience is something that's informed the way I plan and shaping this head coach role. Some of those have been very successful programs, very successful leaders. Ewan McKenzie at the Reds when we won the Super Rugby title in 2011. Andy Farrell more recently with the Ireland squad, and we toured New Zealand that I was fortunate to be part of. And I suppose those qualities that we see in some of those leaders, but also understanding how other head coaches have shaped the tough times and led a group through some of those experiences as well. I'd like to think all of that sort of informs how I'll go about the job. That said, for me, the most important thing is that I create an environment and facilitate an environment where players and staff can thrive. And there's a couple of key aspects in terms of achieving that. I think one is positivity. And I don't just mean putting a smile on the face and everyone bouncing through the door on a Monday morning, as important as that is. I think that real proactive, positive attitude, that ability to embrace challenge, not just become resilient and survive the tough times, but to really look forward to the next obstacle and how it can shape us and challenge us and grow us. I think that sort of mindset is crucial for any sports team or any organisation that wants to be successful. It's certainly been a key part of my journey. And for me to instill that in others and help facilitate an environment where that becomes an infectious energy, I suppose, that drives the group forward is really important. The second thing for me, I think, is connections. As a group, it's important that we connect with the history of Connacht as a place and as a club. I think by understanding the role that this place and this club has played in Irish history and in Irish rugby history, I think we need to respect that history and really gain an understanding of that so that we can start to relate our own stories to that and understand the context of that we're operating in. There's connections within the group, shared experiences as a staff, as a playing group, as a club as a whole. I think that's really important that we get to know each other better at a deeper level. You can talk about being aligned, but it's when the pressure comes on that you really find out just how aligned you are. So building connections there, and lastly, the connections to our community. The whole point of this club and this team is to inspire and represent our community and the wider province. And I think we've had a great track record of that, but it's something that we can reconnect to. It was tough through the COVID period, and it was difficult to visit schools. It was difficult to visit junior clubs. It was difficult for players to really mingle and, I suppose, embrace their roles within the community. So I think it's really important we reconnect with that, and certainly over the next season and the seasons to come, that'll be something we'll be driving hard. If we can achieve those things, I think we'll have an environment that has the potential to be very successful. And at the back end of that comes the rugby, and it's our job to develop players, to improve our own, bring through local Connacht players, and improve those that come to Connacht. And if we can do that, I think we'll be on the right track.
Speaking of the community, engaging with the province at a grassroots level is obviously very important to this club. So how important is that to you, ensuring that Connacht Rugby is successful, not just on the field for the professional team, but engaging with the clubs at a minis level, youth, schools, women? How important is that to you going forward?
Well, I think it's our whole purpose. As a team, we're a team for the province, and it's our role to unite, to inspire and to represent that province. So everything we do should be driven by how we can best achieve that, I suppose, on the field, but also off the field. We're paid professionals. It's a job for us. Some of us are from the place, some of us have come from outside. But the bottom line is we're not here for ourselves, we're here for the province. And I think that's massively important for us to reconnect with that and that sense of purpose. Certainly for us as a playing group and as a staff group. There are lots of ways we can do that, and I think the on-the-grass piece is really important, as I said before, in terms of how we play the game, playing the game positively, making the game of rugby appealing and exciting to people, whether they're already part of the rugby community at the wider level or not. But also what we do off-field, and that involvement with the clubs and with the schools, with the sponsors, with the members of the general public. And the important role that our supporters play in that as well. So connecting with that, I mean, my two sons, they're aged 10 and 8, and they're both regulars down at Galway Bay Junior Rugby Club, and it's part of our life as well. And we want to make sure that for us as a team, as a collective, that we continue to grow our connections in that area.
So in terms of looking forward, a lot of Connacht Rugby fans will be wondering, what does success look like to you, and what would you like to achieve over the next few years?
Look, I think the obvious piece of it is to be playing finals rugby, and whether that's in the URC, the Champions Cup preferably, and if not the Challenge Cup. We want to be in the knockout stages, we want to be at the sharp end of competition and competing for silverware. And I think we've shown, certainly over these last 5.5 years that I've been involved with, on our day we can beat anyone and do it with some style. But that consistency to perform every week, to make sure we genuinely are there at the top end of the competitions, is really important. It's something we need to improve, and I think we can improve. Beyond that, the player development aspect is very important for us. Certainly bringing through young Connacht players through our pathway into our academy, into the senior professional team. That's an important measure of the work that we're doing and of the success for the club. And then to get those guys kicking on to an international representation is another key aspect. So that pathway, that player development, and seeing guys really genuinely come through from grassroots to earning the green shirt of Connacht and the green shirt of Ireland is tremendously important. So I think those two aspects on the field, and then again off the field success, we want the public, we want the community, the wider province to get to know us as people, to get to know us as a team. And for us to do justice to those that we're representing. And I think if we can hit that as well, we'll be on a really positive track.
You'll be taking over at a time when there will be immense change around the sports ground with the redevelopment. How excited are you by the prospect of leading that team through that transition in what's going to be such an exciting period for the club?
It is a tremendous period for the club. I think obviously the work that's already been done on the new surface here, and then the new stadium, the new training facilities to follow, unbelievably exciting, and we can't wait. I guess from a selfish point of view, to have the opportunity to utilise those resources and to have such a new setup is brilliant for us, and we'll take our preparation, our training, and hopefully our performance to the next level. But at the same time, it comes with massive responsibility. I think this is a really important new chapter for the club and for the wider province. We need to set the right tone going into that new chapter in terms of not just winning games, but how we play and how we carry ourselves around that brand new environment. So it comes with its responsibilities, but it's something we're thrilled about and can't wait to experience.
What insight can you give us about the makeup of the coaching team next season? I suppose after today's announcement, fans will now be wondering what can they expect with the coaching team next season. So what can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, look, we're at advanced stages of finalising that coaching team, and I think it's about getting a balance. It's really important that we have some continuity with our coaching group, and certainly over the last few years there has been some change and adjustments within our coaching group, and we want to give players as much stability as we can moving into this next chapter. At the same time, I think it's really important that we get a bit of freshness in there. Certainly for me, I'll be going to my 7th season with this group of players. So fresh voices, fresh ideas in some respects are really important for us to keep growing and to keep challenging each other in terms of how we play the game and how we prepare to play the game. So look, the group we're putting together, it's exciting. It's high on rugby intellect. It's high on coaching intellect. It's a coaching group I think the players will really enjoy working with. And I think it's a group that the supporters will enjoy getting to know as well.
Similarly with the playing squad, as there is every year, there will be some likely coming in and then some moving on. What can you tell us about that process as it stands today?
Yeah, 90% of our recruitment and retention work has been completed, and there'll be some really exciting announcements to come over the next few weeks. We've got a really aligned, effective recruitment model here. I think with the work that Tim Allnut does as our head of rugby operations, Willie Ruan at the CEO level, Andy Friend obviously as the director of rugby. It's the best setup I've seen in terms of getting that breadth of experience and opinion on what it takes to build a squad. The great thing for me is that I've been able to have some input into that process because I'm obviously already part of the club at this stage. So it's a squad that's coming together that will be really exciting. They're certainly suited to displaying those qualities we talked about, the energy, the fight, that we expect from a Connacht team, but at the same time with the ability to inspire and to entertain. I think the supporters will be really excited when they see that new squad unveiled, and I think they'll really enjoy getting to know the new players that are coming in.
And finally, Pete, what would be your message to the Connacht Rugby supporters watching this today?
I suppose, firstly, thank you. Thank you for the support that I've had in my 5.5 years here, and the support that we've had as a team. Thank you for the welcome in terms of how well my family have settled. We're out west in Barna, and I believe fully immersed in the community out there, and it's just been fantastic in the way that people have taken us into that community and made us feel part of things. So to now have this opportunity to expand my role and I suppose lead the program and lead the club into this next chapter, it's a huge honour, and it means an enormous amount, not just to me but to us as a family. I think the second part for me is, I suppose I want to really emphasise, I understand how important this club is to our supporters and to the wider community and the province as a whole. And I know that we have a responsibility not just to be successful on the field, but to represent that community in the right way. And I think we've got a group of people, and I think we've got a way of working that moving forwards can certainly do that. And I'm just really excited to share that journey with them, and look forward to what's to come.
Pete, many thanks for your time.
Thanks very much.